Hey guys, my name is Heather Lindsey.
And my name is Cornelius Lindsey.
And I'm so excited that you landed on Life with the Lindseys.
This is so exciting. This gives us an opportunity to share our life with yours.
Yes, we're going to be talking about everything from entrepreneurship to ministry to your purpose to why you are here, family, parenting, relationships, marriage, sex, you name it. We are talking about it.
So thank you so much for joining us today with Life with the Lindseys. Enjoy it.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Life with the Lindseys. My name is Heather Lindsey, and my husband, I'm giving him a break. Now, I know he's given me breaks before, but I'm like, you only got one. You only got one break, okay? And if you're watching on YouTube, I have on this headphone, and it does not match. Okay, so usually my husband wears the headphones, but we're going to be okay. So I'm really excited about today. I was thinking, like, what am I going to talk about without him? And I figured a cool thing I could talk about is my top mommy hacks. I've gotten so many questions about my hacks. And even if you are single with no kids, I still want you to tune in because there's going to be something here for you. So maybe you can plan ahead and apply some of these things as well. Okay, so one of the first things I do is I buy shoes and clothes in advance. So I bulk buy my kids' presents when they go on sale. I bulk buy clothes. So for example, if I see a super cute, Taylor right now is a 5T, but if I see a cute jacket that's a 7T that's on sale, oh, you better believe your girl is going to buy it right now. And if you are in Georgia, I don't even know if they've closed, but the Saks off the 5th, off the Georgia 400 outlet, they had a Saks off the 5th that's going out of business. And I want to say other companies are going out of business as well that are Saks off the 5th. But anyways, I went in there and I cleaned up. I bought Logan and Taylor and Roman so many clothes from there. I think I walked away with at least 50 or 60 items. And I think I paid like $60. I'm not even kidding. So this is really high-end stuff that's really great quality. And it's super cheap. But I just buy in advance. And so what I do is I just put it in their closet and I put it in the older section. I have a section for like older clothes. Now it's important that when they reach that age, you remember to pull those clothes out. But buying their clothes in advance always helps me. Like I have Taylor's jackets already purchased till she's like 8 because I found really amazing deals. Like one of her jackets, y'all, it's like a $350 jacket. And I found it for like $20 on sale. I was so proud, but she didn't fit it for 2 years, but she wore it. And then when she did wear it, she wore it for a couple of years. So it's really cool to be able to, plan ahead that type of way and bulk buy when something is on sale. Taylor currently has these fabulous Stuart Weitzman gladiator sandals that she doesn't even know she has. But I found them on sale for like $10. And those sandals are like, $200-$300 sandals. So just planning ahead in that type of way, finding cool little cheap hacks. Now, this is not something I'm shopping and going out to do. When I notice the kids need something, I'll be out. Or if I find a store is going out of business, then I'll go and I'll clean up in that type of way. But buying stuff in advance has saved me so much money in the future. Okay, I'm going to kind of be jumping everywhere. But the second one is when I notice my kids are having a sniffle. I'm very natural and organic. But one thing that I notice always works. I'm going to tell y'all this. It's 2 things that goes under their feet. I put Vicks and I also put onions. You might say, girl, why you do that? So onions are supposed to absorb whatever's bad, like the viruses, and like pull them out of your body. And so I just remembered another one as I was talking, but Vicks really helps the kids. I just put it on their feet when they go to sleep. I also put an onion next to their bed if they won't let me put it in their sock. But I also try to put it under their feet as well. That always helps to get their sniffle dealt with right away. And I'm going to throw this one in this category. And this is for adults as well, but activated charcoal. If the kids are sick from, eating something bad or their stomach hurts really bad, I will take a activated charcoal little tablet thing that I buy from, Whole Foods or Publix. I cut it in half and I pour the charcoal into a water bottle and the kids drink it that way. And And I tell them it's the water that's going to help them to feel better. So what charcoal does is it neutralizes viruses, it neutralizes things that are inside of you and safely takes it out of your body. Now, I'm not a doctor, so don't be trying stuff and be like, but Heather told me. I'm just sharing tips that work for me. I also take activated charcoal as well. If I have a bad stomach ache, diarrhea, or something like that, then I'll take activated charcoal and it definitely helps. I remember I was pregnant with Roman. I was 7 months pregnant and I was at a speaking engagement. I had gone to Whole Foods prior to, and I had gotten this sandwich from Whole Foods and I got food poisoning. The crazy thing is the Lord had told me before I left to pack the charcoal. But I'm like, Lord, this is a day trip. It's a 24-hour trip. I'll be right back. No, but I still packed it. But there was only one charcoal pill. And I remember getting food poisoning. Oh man, the struggle was so real, y'all. Your girl was struggling because I'm like, I have to preach and I had food poisoning and I'm like 8 or 9 months pregnant. I'm struggling here. So I took an activated charcoal and immediately I was better. Thank God. And I went and preached my face off and I let the devil and all of hell know that I will not be stopped in the name of Jesus. So activated charcoal has always been great. And again, for the kids, I just cut it in half and I just pour the charcoal in their water, swish it around. I don't let them see it because it's black and I don't want them to freak out. But if their stomach hurts, food poisoning, I definitely take it on the road with me. When I go to any other country, when I go anywhere, I always have activated charcoal with me. My husband will take it. Everybody will take it. But again, always ask your doctor or your holistic whoever to make sure it's okay for you. We're not on any other medicine, so there's not going to be any counteractions. So any of the tips I'm saying, I want you to run it by your own doctor too, as well. I'm just sharing what works for me. Another thing is if my child gets a bad cough, one of my go-to things is a breathing treatment. You might say, okay, that's intense. Again, talk to your doctor. I'm sharing my mommy hacks. Okay. So when Roman was younger, he had baby asthma. He doesn't have it anymore, but we were able to purchase a breathing treatment through our pediatrician for like $100 and also that albuterol. And so what we do is if any of the kids have a cough or they're not feeling good or they have the sniffles, we immediately have them do breathing treatments. And when I say it knocks out their cough and their runny nose within a day or two, it's pretty amazing. And it's really fast. So again, kids are going back to school. It's the fall. We have a lot going on. There was a time maybe in what was that? Like December, January, the kids got really sick. They had the cough. I swear the whole family had COVID. I don't know. This was before it blew up, but this was like December going into January. But I had all of them doing breathing treatments. Roman was doing one every day. He did it for maybe 4 or 5 days and he was totally better. So it's just something about those breathing treatments that are very helpful. If you have small children, talk to your pediatrician, but we were able to purchase ours through and all 3 of the kids have done breathing treatments. Number 5, put vitamins in your children's juice. So the vitamin D or whatever the case is, when he drops, probiotic drops, we put them in apple juice. I personally use Wellaments. That's one of my favorites. If you follow me on social media, you hear me talk about that a lot as well. So Wellaments is really, really great. But we put their vitamins in their juice. And then we also remind them every morning before you go to school, let's take your vitamins, to just kind of get that in their mind. Another thing I do is I put sea moss in my children's smoothie. You can't taste it. Out of the 102 minerals your body needs, 92 of them come from sea moss. So I buy my sea moss gel and I buy sea moss. I make it into gel and then I put it in my kids' smoothies. And it gives them lots of energy. I just want to give y'all a little tip. Don't do it at night. I gave my kids sea moss at night and I was struggling. Nobody would go to sleep. Everybody was hype. So don't give them the sea moss at night. Okay, y'all. All right. So let's just take a break really quick and then we're going to jump back into my next tip. Okay, y'all. I've been using ShipStation forever. So if you've bought from my boutique, then you know that you've gotten my order through ShipStation. Now the holiday season's right around the corner. And it's so important that if people are buying from you that, they're making sure that it actually gets to you. How can you keep track of who gets what? What shipping carrier should you use? Are you getting the best rate? That's why I love ShipStation.com. It's the fastest, easiest, most affordable way to manage and ship out your orders. In just a few clicks, you're managing orders, printing out discounted shipping labels, and getting your products out fast. The result? Happier holidays, happier customers, happier you. Okay. ShipStation takes the hassle out of holiday shopping. Now, again, I've been using ShipStation for probably about 5 or 6 years for my boutique. I love it because it helps me to get out my orders quickly. I save money on shipping costs and it keeps the customers happy. I also love that they work with all the major carriers, including USPS, FedEx, UPS, and even international. So you guys can check that out too. No wonder why ShipStation is the number one choice of online sellers. You'll ship more in less time with the absolute best rates. Now, as of right now, the Life with the Lindseys listeners can try ShipStation free for 60 days when you use code LWTL. Come through with free, okay? Make sure your business is ready to meet the demands of the massive online shopping season. Get started at ShipStation.com today. Click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in LWTL. That's ShipStation.com, then offer LWTL. ShipStation.com, make ship happen. Okay, and so we're back and we're on number 7. Okay, so we all know it's really hard to get our children to eat veggies. The struggle can be real, y'all. That's why these life hacks are so important. We got to share our tips and we got to share stuff that can encourage and help each other. So what I tell my children to do is when they eat their food or when they're eating dinner, I have them look down at their plate and I ask them, is there any color on your plate today? And they'll say, nope, I don't have any color. So this is your opportunity to go get some green beans. It's your opportunity to get apples, mango. They know every single day they need to look down on their plate, whether they're at school, whether it's breakfast time. I don't want to just see one color on your plate. Let's add some extra color to it, right? I don't want you just to eat toast for breakfast. I want you to also add some fruit in there. And for dinner, one of the kids' favorite dinners for Roman and Taylor is pesto, vegan pesto rice. It's jasmine rice and just pesto. I bought the pesto from Whole Foods, but you can make your own as well. And they love cut up mango. They just love mango. And so for them, they have the pesto from the pesto, which is green. And then they also have the mango. So encourage your children. Don't just put frozen meals in front of them. And you might say, Heather, that's all I can afford. And I hear you. I really do. But that stuff is packed with sodium and fat, and it's just not good for you. If you want your child to be strong and healthy so they can focus at school and do what God wants them to do, let's look at our food and renew our mind as parents, or even if you're single, let's renew our mind and stop eating those frozen dishes, frozen meals. I hate frozen meals. I don't even allow them to come into the house. If somebody buys a frozen meal, I just end up tossing it or giving it away. Because I'm you don't understand the preservatives that are in this food that's going to go into my child's body. That is not what we're doing. And so for me, what I like to do is, and you might say, all right, Heather, I can't afford it. And I hear you. So let's do this. Let's look at places in your neighborhood that are affordable. Now, one of my favorites is Aldi. Aldi has so many organic things. Do an Aldi haul. There's organic stuff and it's crazy cheap. Trader Joe's is another cheap place. Another cheap place in Atlanta is the DeKalb Farmers Market. If you could see how much stuff you could get that's super cheap there, it's great. And there's other places, in Atlanta as well. I want to encourage you to look up farmers markets in your local area, and find ways to be more creative with food. If you yourself are listening and you're like, man, the food I'm eating is really bad and I just don't feel good. I don't feel good about myself. I'm always bloated. I don't know what it is. Probably the food that you're eating. And if we are going to, live long and strong, and if we are going to do what God wants us to do, we need to make sure we're eating the proper foods. Even when you are pregnant, you are literally forming your child's taste buds when you are eating whatever you're eating. So keep on eating drinking those green smoothies, eat those salads, Yeah, I know it's hard sometimes, especially for my mamas out there that are throwing up with every meal. You just get whatever you can get. But if you find yourself, you can eat a little more vegetables, or, the baby don't like vegetables. Well, the baby don't control me. The baby about to eat this because I'm the mama. So I want to encourage you guys to do something different with your children. I personally, like Logan eats meat because his daddy does. But Taylor and Roman do not eat meat. And so what I do with them is I make them, a separate meal, but I don't give them like the frozen, the frozen kids pretend chicken nuggets. You know what I mean? The soy ones. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'd rather just make it myself and make it with like heart of palm, or just be more creative. So my challenge to you parents is, what can we do a little bit better to step back and say, okay, I need to change my eating habits, because heart disease runs in my family. And for the past 3 generations, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, and my great-great-grandfather have all died from heart disease. So maybe let's look at the food. Maybe it doesn't run in the family. Maybe it's just they're passing down their eating habits and their wrong ways of thinking about food. Maybe I'm not going to eat fried chicken, pork chops, and bacon on a Monday for lunch. Like, how can I step back? How can I incorporate healthier foods into my life? And what I like to do is I like to include salads with my meal. It could be like a romaine salad or arugula. It doesn't matter. Just try to add some greens or add some veggies into your life. It's going to be important. And I want you to be here to do what God has called you to do, right? That's important. Number 8, the Busy Kid app. Now, this is not like an ad or anything, but I'm actually having a problem with the credit card. So I need to put that on my list to call them. But I have the Busy Kid app, and what it does is the kids have their apps on their phone. So when they do chores around the house, they have an opportunity to earn money based on their chores. And from there, they buy stocks and they can give. And one of the places I want the children to give is compassion. And if you ever want, we actually can include the compassion link down below. But compassion is where we, adopt a child, or we sponsored a child from another country. And we help pay for their medical supplies, their running water, food, etc. But the Busy Kid app has been great for Logan. Taylor's still growing, she's only 5. But Logan likes the idea that he's earning money and it's going on a card, and he can buy stock. Like, he's bought the Amazon stock and the Tesla stock, but he bought it maybe 4 or 5 months ago. So his stocks are doing pretty well. But the fact that he's an investor already. Now, if you've listened to our podcast, you know that I am an investor. So it's important that my kids know how to, trade. And I'm going to be teaching them how to trade, but I'm starting now with the Busy Kid app. Okay. Number 9. I hope these are helpful for you guys. Poshmark and eBay. So I talk about buying our kids' clothes in bulk and, finding ways to save. But what do you do when you're finished with your kids' clothes? I like to sell on Poshmark. I'm actually on Poshmark. If you go to Heather L. Love, I have a store there now, but I'm also on eBay as Heather L. Love as well. And what I like to do is I like to sell the kids' clothes, but don't just sell like a pair of jeans. You need to sell a lot of clothes. So when I say a lot, I don't mean like a lot, A space LOT. So when you sell a lot of clothes, then what you're doing is you're saying, okay, I'm selling 5 pair of jeans that are 2T, 5 sweaters that are 2T, and hats that go with it. And I'm going to sell all of this for $80, let's just say, on eBay. And if you look up a lot on eBay, you'll see a lot of moms, a lot of people sell their clothes that way because you get more bang for your buck. I also did that when I was pregnant. And when I was finished with all my pregnancy clothes, I sold them on eBay. And the cool thing was I wore those clothes for all 3 pregnancies. So then I wore them for all 3 pregnancies. I found them on a great discount. I may have splurged for 1 or 2 things, but I sold it, I remember, for $150 on eBay. And I was so proud because I'm like, wow, I wore these clothes for the past 6 or 7 years when I was pregnant, and I was able to, get a return on my investment. So my advice to you is that go and sell your children's stuff afterward. take that money, put it in your child's 529 account. Actually, I didn't include that on here, but I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that. You can add it into your child's 529 account. Now, a 529 is a tax advantage savings account for their college education. Our kids currently have 529 accounts, and they also have an UTMA account. Now, the UTMA account, the tax benefits aren't as good, but I'm not as limited to only education. So that's why I like the UTMA account for the kids. But that's what I call their purpose fund. So every single month, I donate money to their purpose fund. When it's their birthday, people ask, what gifts do they want? I send them the link to the kids' 529 account. You can help contribute to the kids' education for the future. Now, you might say, oh, my child might not want to go to school, might not want to go to college. It's okay. The cool thing about the 529 is they just recently passed a law that says it can also be used for the money in the 529 can also be used for, school as well, like private school. It can be used for like a laptop, books, stuff like that. And if for some reason Logan doesn't use his 529 account, it can transfer over to his sister, Taylor. If Taylor doesn't use a 529, it can transfer to Roman. If Roman doesn't use his 529 college savings plan, it can be passed down to our grandchildren. So, or you can take it out with a penalty. But the purpose fund that I have set up for the kids, which is the UTMA account, that is for whatever God has purposed them to do. So that means that they have things like, say they want to buy an investment property. Maybe they want, maybe Taylor wants to start a makeup line. That's going to be us, here's the money. It's already here. It's saved. It's been compounding interest since the moment you were born. Now you can take it to go start your business and do what God has called you to do. In addition, I have custodial accounts set up on TD Ameritrade, and I trade stocks for the kids as well. And I'm just building up, I call them my baby accounts, but all three of the children are investors. They all have stocks. So when they get older, I'll be able to transfer the accounts over to them. Now with their accounts, I just started with $500 each, and I'm just play low risk stocks for them. But it's really cool to see their little accounts grow in many ways. So it's safe to say that I invest in many ways for my children. And actually, let's take a little break, and I want to come back and talk about investing. Okay, Policygenius, y'all. I love Policygenius because right now you can save 50% or more by using Policygenius to compare life insurance. Y'all, it's so important that we have life insurance right now. If you're listening to my voice and you don't have life insurance, I want you guys to get it. It's affordable. And when you are shopping for a policy that could last for more than a decade, those savings are really going to add up. Now, first, head on over to policygenius.com. In minutes, you can work out how much coverage you need and compare quotes with top insurers to find your best price. Policygenius will even compare policies starting as little as $1 a day, y'all. That is so affordable. You might even be eligible to skip the in-person medical exam. Now, once you apply, the Policygenius team will handle all the paperwork and all the red tape. The best part is that they work for you, not the insurance company. So if you hit any speed bumps during the application process, they will take care of everything. This kind of service has earned Policygenius a 5-star rating across over 1,600 reviews on Trustpilot and Google. So if you need life insurance, head on over to policygenius.com right now to get started. You could save 50% or more by comparing quotes. Policygenius, when it comes to insurance, it's nice to get it right. Okay, and we're back. So I still wanted to continue the conversation about investing. And I think it's important, y'all, that we are setting up our children in a way that maybe you weren't set up, or maybe you were set up in this way and you're passing that down to your child. Now, for me, I grew up in a family with like 24 sisters and brothers. And so it's impossible for my mom to be able to do all of this. My parents did the best they knew how to do with taking care of us and loving us. And I felt very loved as a child and cared for. And I'm thankful for that. But I also want to make sure I'm setting up our children so they can be investors. I want our children to buy their first investment property by the time they're 13 years old. And it's going to be their job to help pick it out. We're going to go in, we're going to clean it out. If we need to do renovations, we're going to do that as a family. But they're all going to have their own investment properties. And the goal is when, a tenant pays, Logan when he turns 13 for, that we're going to take it and we're going to we're going to save it, or we're going to invest it into, the stock market, mutual funds, different things like that. We're going to take that money and then we're going to buy more investment properties. So maybe by the time Logan is 18 years old, he's going to have, 3 or 4, multi-unit properties. And so as he grows older and he seeks the Lord on, God, what have you called me to do? I want him to be a big giver and just be able to, show people that, my focus is on what God wants me to do. And don't get me wrong. I think there's a beauty in working those McDonald's jobs or Chick-fil-A jobs. And, if Logan wants to do that as he's led by the Lord, I want him to do that too. I just want to definitely set him up in a very special way. So I want to encourage you guys to do that. You might say, Heather, I don't have money for all that. It could be that you're putting $5 a month towards your child's 529, $5 a month towards a stock, $5. And I don't encourage you to jump into the stock market unless you know what you're doing, because you're going to lose your money. But 529 and UTMAs are very safe. Our 529 and UTMAs are currently housed on charlesschwab.com. So you can easily open up an account there. Okay. Number 11, traveling. Now this is fun because I mentioned earlier that I buy things in bulk for the kids, gifts, stuff like that. But whenever my husband and I travel, every morning when the kids wake up, they have a present. So they get a surprise for every day we're gone, every morning when they wake up. So that gets them really excited. They wake up, although mommy and daddy aren't there, there's a gift. And so I go to like Marshall's, the dollar store, TJ Maxx, like really cheap places, get little trinkets that I know they're going to like and enjoy. Or it could be something like Funyuns. Like I'm not going to buy Funyuns for the kids because it's not healthy. But when I go out of town every now and then, I might treat them to that. So just having a gift every day has been really exciting for the kids. Okay. Number 12, cook the main things. So I have a rice cooker and I recommend that. I'm actually going to link, if you're watching on YouTube, my Amazon store down below. But that's where I got my rice cooker. It's super cheap, but I use it every single day. So I'll cook maybe quinoa or some jasmine rice because it's gluten-free or whatever the case is. So I cook those different things. And what I do is I have, so at dinner time, I just grab the rice, or I grab the spaghetti that I've already pre-cooked, or I grab the cut up veggies that I've already pre-cut up. So some of you are just getting overwhelmed and you might throw frozen food in front of your kid, like just eat this pizza or whatever the case is. But when you plan ahead, you won't get overwhelmed. So cook the main things, have them in the fridge and grab as you go. And this is also good for my single people or people that don't have kids. If you find yourself always eating out on Uber Eats and stuff like that, discipline yourself. Say, no, you're only allowed to eat out, maybe once a week or twice a week. And we're going to meal prep and we're going to do our part. Okay. Number 13, once a week, we eat out on Saturdays. That's it. So they know on Saturday, they get Chick-fil-A. Our kids were going into this, especially during like the lockdown, they were going into this like thing where they would always just try to eat out every day. And it was becoming a problem. So I said, no, new boundary. Only on Saturdays we eat out. So we can eat out, for breakfast, and then I'm going to make lunch, and maybe we can order out for, dinner, or we can eat out as a family for dinner. But that for the kids, every Saturday morning, they know they come in with their Chick-fil-A, recipe. They're ready to go. We want our Chick-fil-A food. Can we order our Chick-fil-A? Can we get our Chick-fil-A? So they get really, really excited about that. But that means that they don't ask me all week long, can we eat Chick-fil-A? Nope. Is it Saturday? Because I'm confused because you asking on a Tuesday. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Is it Tuesday or is it Saturday? So the kids are, I only eat out on Saturday. You absolutely right. We about to cook right here at the house tonight. Okay. Number 14, declutter. Less stuff is less cleanup. Now, decluttering is something I'm constantly doing, which is why I sell on eBay, which is why I sell on Poshmark, because I feel like I have too much stuff and I constantly need to, this headband is hurting me. And I constantly need to make sure that I'm decluttering. I just can't do clutter, y'all. It just drives me up the wall. But guess what? Less stuff is less cleanup. I go through Roman's toys often to declutter as well, because he just tosses them everywhere. So I'm like, hey, you don't use this anymore. So go through your kids' toys, go through the different things that are causing clutter. Number 15, I keep a oops kit in the car. Okay. So this is great because it contains an extra set of clothes for everybody in the family. Guess what? Even daddy. I remember this one time. We were on the plane and we were flying. I think it was to Hawaii, and Taylor got motion sickness really bad, and she threw up all over Cornelius. He had no clothes, because in his mind he was like, I only need clothes for the kids. No, baby, we need clothes for you too. So I had to run and buy him like this Hawaiian shirt at the Honolulu airport that was like oversized, but I'm like, you'll be all right. And so that oops kit that we keep it in the car. It's an extra set of clothes for everybody. There's some diapers. There's $20 in there, a few snacks, an umbrella, flashlight, and a first aid kit. So these are just like little things that it's good to have. Number 16, keep a basket of going out to dinner things by the door. So what we like to do after, 4:30 is we love to have family time. We might go to a park, have a picnic. And this is for our Saturdays when we do go out to eat. Or if we have a friend come in town last minute and we find ourselves going out to grab food or something like that. This going out to dinner things basket is nice. It's a bag of crayons, small books, coloring books, stickers, toy cars, and stuff like that. Or if you have a last minute trip, that's a really great little baggie to bring with you, but it helps to keep the kids entertained, especially if you're, hanging with your friends. Okay. We're almost there, y'all. We're almost there. Number 16, number 17 is, I think I got my numbers mixed up, but it's okay. Flushable wipes in the bathrooms. I don't know what it is about these kids, but they just don't know how to wipe right. I mean, I think they're getting there. We growing, but sometimes I'm like, I smell poop and it's not Roman. So putting flushable wipes in the bathrooms has been helpful. I encourage the kids, when you're doing number 2, make sure you use the flushable wipes. It's been very helpful. Okay. Number 18, when they have friends come over, we must clean that room before you go to a new area. I don't know about y'all, but my kids love to tear up every single room when all their little friends come over. I'm like, excuse me, that is not what we're doing. You need to, before you come to this new room, try to destroy that. Let's go back and let's clean the room that you're in. Okay. Number 19, breast milk cures everything. Okay. I've been breastfeeding forever. Literally since I was for the past 8 years, I've been breastfeeding, y'all. Like it's been real. I've had a couple breaks, but I'm on my year 7, I think, with Roman. I'm still trying to, get him off of the milk, but I put breast milk in the kids' eyes. If I see pink eye coming on, if the kids, have a burn on their hand, let's put some breast milk on it. Roman has diaper rash. Let's put some breast milk on it. Breast milk is like liquid gold, y'all. It heals everything. So yeah, my assistant, she had a burn at the top of her mouth. So I squirted some breast milk into a cup and she was putting it at the top of her mouth. Now, I know you may be like, that's so weird, girl. Whatever. Y'all put, some of y'all drink cow's milk and that's from their nipple too. You know what I'm saying? So, she's put it at the top of her mouth and the burn went away in 2 days. And she'd been struggling for a week. I told you need to come get this milk, girl. Breast milk cures everything, you guys, from pink eye to whatever else. So the kids, I squirt it in their eyes, whatever the case is. I put it on burns and diaper rash. It's been so helpful. I'm definitely going to be pumping some since I'm going to be ending my breastfeeding journey soon. So let's take a break and I'll do the last one. Okay, the very last one is I like to keep a diffuser going at night in the kids' room. That's my opportunity to put lavender in there. Sometimes I mix lavender or an On Guard type that can help with their immune system, but I keep a diffuser going every single night because it helps to relax them and make them feel better. And it's been really helpful for the kids so far. You can find them on, Amazon, different things like that. Okay. So if you follow me on Instagram, Heather L. Love, then I asked y'all to send in any questions that you might have, and I can answer some of them live. So I'll just take a couple questions really quick. Um, I'm a minister's wife. Does that mean I have to preach? My pastor puts pressure on me to, honey, no, you don't have to do anything God has not told you to do. If that's not your gift, you don't have to do it. That'd be like saying, Heather, you need to lead the children's ministry or the women's ministry or, the prayer team or whatever, just because you're the pastor's wife. No, like instead, I get to walk in the lane that God has called me to do. And you tell people, don't put that pressure on me. That's not what God has called me to do. So I'm sorry. I'm not going to walk in a lane I've never been designed to walk into. Okay. Da-da-da. I can't find prayer time with work, baby, hubby, cleaning. Oh, the struggle is so real, honey. I can totally relate to that. Um, Now, what I did is we couldn't afford it at the time, but when Roman was newly born, I could not afford like a cleaning person to come to the house that much. So what I did is I sold some of my clothes on eBay to pay for it. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. And for me, I'm like, I can't make excuses. I just want a clean house and I need a little bit of help because I could spend 12 hours a day cleaning, but that means those are 12 hours I can devote to my family, 12 hours I can use to write books, meal prep, or whatever the case is. So I like to hire my weaknesses. So if you are having a hard time with that, you have to say, okay, where can I cut some things? Where can I get some help? If that means I find a friend or a little sister or somebody to come hold the baby for a little bit so I could spend time with the Lord. Let's come up with a plan. What can we do so we can make sure we get that time with the Lord? That tells me if you're not getting time with the Lord, you're probably not getting any time for yourself, which means you're going to burn out very, very quickly. So I want to encourage you to try to reach out to your network of people and see if you can get some help. Um, Oh, you're sweet. Why am I so amazing? Honey, why are you so amazing? Are there still godly men out there? Because my generation, I don't know, honey. You know what? I felt like that too. With my generation 10 years ago when I was single, actually 13 years ago when I was single, I was like, there's no godly men out here. But I realized I just hadn't met the right one. And at the right time, God will make that presentation and I will know who it is. Um, okay. My favorite vacation. I've been a lot of places. You guys are gonna be really surprised. People are always surprised when I say this. I have to say, like, Hawaii. I know. I mean, I've been to a lot of places, Dubai, Bali. I've been all over the world, but I just love Hawaii. The air smells really fresh. There's so many exotic fruits. It's just greenery everywhere. It's like a rainforest. I love the black sand beaches. I love the weather. It's just gorgeous. It feels like I'm in another place. So I love, love Hawaii. I haven't been to like Bora Bora, Maldives. I want to go for sure, but as of right now, Hawaii, and probably because sometimes we go there as a family trip. So I would say Maui. What's been the biggest lesson learned this year? The biggest lesson that I've learned this year is that you cannot control your life. You can't control what happens in the world. You can't control what's happening in your life. All you can do is stay focused on what God wants you to do and don't try to control him. Just flow with him, surrender to him. Just choose to trust him no matter what it looks like. How do you start day trading? Um I would read a million books. That's probably the first place to start. Amazon is your friend. Read books, read, watch YouTube videos, learn, soak it all in, learn as much as you can and paper trade. Do not use your real money when you get started. Um, how do you deal with toxic in-laws? My mother-in-law especially. Thankfully, my mother-in-law is a dream. She's amazing, but I've had to deal with other toxic family members. And how I deal with them is I put boundaries up. I'm like, I love you, but you ain't finna control me. I love you. Like I love you for real, but I won't be controlled by you. I'm sorry, I won't. And I kind of refuse that. And so um, people don't like boundaries, especially if they're toxic, because they have the victim mentality. But when I put boundaries up with people, then they pull back because they're like, no, like you need to listen to my boundaries, or they try to use scripture. And I'm like, no, you're toxic, and bad company corrupts good character. And you are corrupting the crap out of my character. I love you. I love you for real, for real. I have no unforgiveness or bitterness, but I need to put some boundaries up with you, mama. So tell the mama-in-law, I love you, but I need to put some boundaries up. Will she get mad over that? Probably. But what are you going to do? You know, you've got to put those boundaries up. What are some important questions to ask when getting to know a guy? I think some important questions to ask are you a believer? Are you saved? Are you a Christian? That would be the first question. Like, do you love the Lord? Oh, Heather, that's going to scare him away. Bye. That shouldn't scare nobody away. If you scared of that, I'm scared to have you be priest of my household and you don't know who Jesus is, trying to lead me, tell me to submit to you, and you don't know who. Don't get me started now. Don't get me started. All right, last question. I feel as though I'm drowning. My life has never been like this before. I pray, but is God hearing me? Absolutely, girl. We know God hears and answers our prayers when we cry out to him based on Psalms. Don't worry. God is holding you. He's with you. I wrote about this in my book, Silent Seasons. I want to encourage you to head over to Amazon or to my boutique, pinkypromiseboutiques.com, and get it. But a silent season is an opportunity. It's an invitation from the Lord to draw closer to him in a deeper way. So I want to encourage you to draw closer to him. He hears you. It's a lie from Satan that he doesn't hear you. And I think a lot of people kind of feel like they're drowning right now in this season with layoffs, with COVID, with the different things that are going on in this world. But one thing that is sure, and that is the Lord. And I want you to cling to him and trust him and stay focused on him. His hand is on you. Don't worry about it and trust in him alone. Okay. Well, I hope this was helpful. This is a lot of work by yourself. Where is my husband at? Babe, you're welcome for your break today, but next week you ain't getting no break. Okay. We're going to do this together. All right. Well, I love you guys. Make sure you subscribe to Life with the Lindseys, and you can find me on social media, Heather Lindsey on Facebook or Heather L Love on Twitter and Instagram. I would love to hear what you guys thought about today's podcast. All right. Love y'all. Bye.